Right, so I'd be scrolling the internet looking for vinyl, but some of the stuff that I want is too rare or expensive or both. But I like the ritual of listening to physical media, so I did look into services that, you know, put your own playlists on record, but I was like astounded by how little you can actually put on there. I think the longest length it was going to give you was 20 minutes per side, and I'm like, it's not enough for me. So that's when I decided to get a cassette player. So I bought one for like 60 quid. So once it arrived, I had to get a cassette to test it on. So I got an album which would be like 10 times as expensive to get on vinyl. So I put the cassette in and I could see that the levels were going up and down. But to test it, I had to use this sort of weird way where I plugged it in to this adapter which turned the analog into HDMI, which I plugged into a projector because that's the only HDMI thing I have that has a speaker in it. So I was listening to this cassette out of projector. Once my proper cables arrived, I was able to test it properly with the speaker. But this cable could also plug into my computer, which is what I really wanted, because what I want from this is to be able to dub my own tapes. So I bought 5 blank cassettes that were all in clear cases and clear cassettes. So all you can see in there is the tape itself. Inspired of course by Techmoan and his video on prison tech. So I used the video editing software to get my track list right and get the levels right. And then I plugged it into the computer, and I've only got one of these cables. So now I can't hear the music, but I can see the levels on the computer and I can see the levels on the tape deck. So I put in my blank cassette and then I hit play. And you can see when I hit play that the little red recording light goes off. And then I noticed after a while that the levels on the tape deck weren't moving. So I was like, okay, something's up. So I tried again and I done the same thing, but this time the recording light stayed on and it just worked. And the only other problem I had was when the computer was just sitting there playing the music, I forgot to move the mouse and the monitor went to sleep, which meant that it stopped playing music. So there is a couple of seconds in the first side where it just stops. But apart from that, it's worked pretty well. And then to finish the whole thing off, I was looking at the card insert called a J card. I got a template off of the internet and made a sort of spoof cover of this mixtape, what I think it would look like if released by this band at this time. And I noticed that it was 4 inches high. So yeah, I scaled that up to fit on a 6x4 and I printed off the front and the back separately. And then I folded them just using a ruler edge. And I used double-sided tape to stick them together, so it gives the effect of being double-sided even though it's really not. And overall I think it looks very nice, and I'm excited to make more of these.